Today, we are talking about the speaking trifecta, 3 high-pay venues ready to book you and your expertise and how to land them. So if you're watching now, just going to put hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching in the near and dear future, put hashtag replay. And we're going to get right into the conversation today. I am looking forward to talking about the top 3 places where you can land really incredible speaking opportunities. If you are a public speaker, go on and put the word love in the chat. If you're a consultant, put the word love in the chat as well. This is for you. And we're going to talk about what are the places where you can find these opportunities, how to pitch people, and some of my favorite tips and templates on how you can really think about pitching as a responsibility in your business, right? Because I think we all would really want the world to just know about who we are, right? We have that ego and that sense of pride and confidence, but everyone doesn't know who you are in your business. And that makes it exciting to really make it your responsibility every day to pitch, outreach, and for more people to know about you and your passion and your purpose and your profit. So I want to shout out some Speaking for Profit Academy members. Every Monday, we have a call called Business Momentum Call. And this is our 4-month intensive program where we really support folks on scaling their talks or their frameworks, delivering them to organizations around the world and making it a profitable business. Some folks that I've been working with them for 2 or 3 years. So shouts out to y'all if y'all are here watching. I really have enjoyed this process of seeing you be able to just develop your business and consistently grow and claim more financial freedom and more purpose and profit in your life. But we had our business momentum call, first call of the year. By the way, Happy New Year to everyone. And we had our first call and I already knew we were going to get a good question. But the day before, I got a question in our school community about really accepting a partnership that wasn't aligned with this particular client's business model. So someone came to them and wanted to do business and they knew that it wasn't aligned. Like they felt it. Even when they asked the question on the call, you could hear the hesitation in their voice. And I'm sharing this story because really what we supported them with on that call was how to give an enthusiastic no, a really enthusiastic no, being able to say, no, I do not want to work with you and feeling okay about that because you know that it's not aligned in your business. So I want to shout out to not just that client who might be watching now. I don't want to name them because all of our calls are safe and confidential, but I really want to shout out the community because we all held space for this person and really were like, you know what? If this isn't aligned, then you shouldn't have any guilt about saying no to this partnership. And we really are moving into the direction of understanding that if we are able to say more no's to moments and people and businesses and opportunities that aren't aligned, we will be able to get more aligned yeses. And we're really leaning into that as a community. So shouts out to everyone here from the Academy. Really appreciate you being here. And that was just an amazing call. And the truth is this, right? We're getting into this conversation about where are 3 places where you can find speaking opportunities that are right in front of you, but you're not even thinking about it. We really only need 10 to 12 opportunities. And I'm telling myself that too, right? Because I am in the process of looking for opportunities to speak. So if you are looking for an amazing speaker and you're enjoying this live, hit me up. But we only need 10 to 12 opportunities for us to have a 6-figure professional speaking business. 10 to 12 opportunities at $10,000 a piece, and we're there. But if we're saying yes to opportunities that are below our vibrations, right, energetically, or below the amount that we know we should be paid for our expertise, it puts us in a position where we're not able to find those aligned yeses. So I just want to start off with that, right? Like really stepping into that before we even get into where you can find these gigs and these opportunities. It's really about thinking about what are you going to truly say yes to so that you can make more space for it? And what are you going to say no to so that you can create some more boundaries? So I wanted to have an opportunity. This is a new live segment, y'all. We've done this before, but this is different because number one, we're going to be doing this weekly. So I'm back to doing weekly lives. At one point, I was doing daily lives, but now we're going to do it weekly. We're testing out a new time, doing it a little bit later to see if folks who are working, folks who are parents have more capacity for this. But the next segment of this conversation is what we call our purpose-driven business insights. Purpose-driven business insights. And today I want to talk a little bit about the company Costco. I don't know if y'all have seen, but Costco has been in the news at least this last week. If you're watching this later on, we're like in January of 2025, actually in the first 7 days. And Costco has been in the news because we all know, we've all seen that DEI is under attack in the sense of the government doesn't support it. Organizations are taking a stance that they don't think that it works. They don't think that it's measurable. And I spent the last 10 to 12 years in the diversity, equity, inclusion space. And I'm thankful for it, had a great opportunity to really support organizations. And I know that it created critical change. But at this point, it is not being valued. In fact, it is being pushed out, and less organizations are really wanting to do diversity, equity, inclusion work. So Costco had this conversation with their board, and their board wanted them to actually step back and not have any DEI efforts in the business. And I'm looking at this article. I'm going to actually share it with y'all real quick. This is an article by Forbes. And as you can say, Costco's rebuttal reveals the cost of anti-DEI efforts, right? So essentially in this article, what they're talking about is the board was like, DEI does not work. We want y'all to cancel that, get rid of DEI. And Costco was like, nah, we are not doing it. We are not doing it. We believe that it works. Actually, we have data that actually says that it works. And this is Costco's board. I want y'all to realize this. This is a big deal because Costco's board holds so much control, right? Especially when it comes to shareholders. And what the board was saying is we're going to lose money if we keep this. And Costco's like, no, we're going to lose money if we don't. Actually, that's what's going to happen. We're going to lose money if we don't be consistent with this, right? And I see someone's here says McDonald's just put back on their DI programs too. Exactly. So Costco is saying, no, we're not going to do it. And we want to be a part of this. And I think what is really important, the reason I'm bringing this up, right, when we're thinking about, in particular, purpose-driven businesses, Costco has always been this place where it almost kind of like as a foodie or even as a young person felt almost like an amusement park, right? Like you can go in and find accessible bulk food for large families, for large groups. They have a great military program. They've always supported particular groups of American people. And I don't know, Costco might be international too. Haven't really looked that much into it. I'm sure it is probably a global company. But they're saying, no, we know that this is beneficial. And they're like going left when everyone's going right. And shout out to one of my friends and clients, K. Kenneth Davis. He always talks about that. When everyone is going in one direction, you want to be the company that goes the other direction. If everybody's going right, you want to turn left off the exit and be unique and be different. So shouts out to Costco, y'all, for being willing to do that. If y'all roll with Costco and y'all appreciate what they're doing, go on and put the word Costco into the chat. If y'all roll with them and y'all appreciate that they're actually pushing back on this and not falling into capitalism and the belief that this doesn't work, but actually being a purpose and a data-driven business and saying, actually, no, board of directors, we appreciate y'all, but we're not going to pull back our efforts. So I thought that that was like really cool. And I wanted to bring it into the space. And every week we'll have an opportunity to talk about a purpose-driven business, because even though we're talking about business strategies when it comes to being a DEI practitioner or a speaker or a consultant, what we're really talking about, y'all, is business development and strategy. And even though you are an amazing speaker, I'm sure everyone here watching is a great speaker. You are rocking the stage. As soon as we give you a microphone, we can't get you to stop talking. You're probably an amazing consultant. You have a framework that literally is going to save the world. If you do not get your message in front of enough people, it doesn't even matter. So Costco is purpose driven. They're sticking with their data. And when it comes to having conversations about it, they're not pushing back. So shout out to them. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. And I hope that other organizations have an opportunity to also be like Costco. Now, if you're here today and you're like, you know what, Bob, you're talking this DEI talk, I don't think it works either. I want you to put that in the chat as well, because I want us to be able to have a conversation in the whole space as well. But y'all already know who I am. Y'all know my history and know what I've done. But I don't want anyone to feel like they can't share what their experience is and how they feel. But I thought that was just something really cool to bring into the conversation as we talk about building our own businesses and being CEOs in our life and in our business. So let's talk a little bit about the conversation today, right? Which is really the top 3 places where you can land incredible speaking opportunities. I'm not talking about just any gigs. I'm talking about gigs that can transform your business and that really can transform your life. And one of the first places, y'all, when I actually first got started speaking and consulting was really looking into associations. So that's the first one that I want you all to write down. If you got those fancy notebooks out or your phones or whatever you're taking notes on, but associations. Associations are brilliant because when you are in a industry, right? And I started off in clinical psychology, so did work with the American Psychological Association. That was one of the first conferences I spoke at fresh out of graduate school. Usually you're required, especially if you go to a professional school or graduate school, to join these associations to get experience. It might even be a part of your internship, which it was for me. And they always have conferences and events, right? So what I normally will do is I'll just do a quick Google search for that association if I don't know, right? Because some of you all might be wanting to get into industries that you're not currently in. I see a lot of people that are pivoting because of where our economy is, right? Look at this. APA is currently accepting proposals for their conference now. Exactly. Welcome to the space as well. So you might be thinking about industries that you're not a part of yet. Like, oh, you know what? I want to work in colleges. Well, you probably should be at NASPA, right? NASPA is a national organization for higher education professionals. You should be at that event presenting. So if we think to ourselves, what industry do I want to speak in or do I want to impact? And then really searching their national events. And sometimes these associations will have national conferences. Sometimes they'll have local ones that are a little bit more intimate. And then sometimes they even have virtual meetings or just meetings that you can go in and support. So a couple of years ago, my amazing partner got an opportunity to work for a government organization. So I was very interested this year in okay, what are other government associations that need support? So I had an opportunity last year to do a talk for the Women in Government Relations organization, and their association is connected to the government. Do a talk for them. And we talked about really well-being practices and how to take care of yourself, and really dealing with burnout when it came up to the election. And they're non-political, but no matter if the current person who's going to be president won or the other person, don't want to say these names because then it's just clickbait, right? But no matter who won, that group might have been stressed out because of all of the work that they have to do. So it was a great conversation. But the only reason I found them is by searching under association. So I'm going to show you how to search and to find them. But the reason that associations are pure gold, here are a few reasons I want you to write down. They're constantly looking for hungry talent, fresh, new information. They are built for an audience that is ready to invest. So most of the time, people are able to come to this event because they have professional development. If they have professional development, that means that their company and organization actually have a budget, which is dope. That means that they probably got money for you as well. They regularly run events, right? Which means that you can get repeat bookings, which is really amazing. Maybe you start off doing a workshop, then eventually you could do a plenary. You might even be able to eventually build relationships and host your own half day or full day part of the conference. And the networking part of it is phenomenal because you get to meet people who are connected in that industry and other presenters and other people who've been doing the work for a while or who are new to the work. What I also love about it is associations have a natural rhythm. You have new professionals coming in, you have older professionals retiring, right? So there's always an ebb and flow, and there's always an opportunity for business. So here is what I call the secret sauce for you to be able to pitch associations. The first thing that you want to think about is speaking industry language and pain points. So what I would suggest you do, in a moment, I'm going to show you how to find associations and conferences, but I want you to go on a few of those websites, especially if it's an industry that you're not a part of, and look at the type of presentations that were accepted from the past. Who are some of the keynote presenters that they brought in from the past? Because if you know that, then you'll be able to look at the industry language and pain points and utilize that in your own proposal. You want to also share that you understand the members' needs when you are submitting your pitch or your proposal for that organization. You don't want to seem like you're talking about needs that were 5-10 years ago. So you want to make sure that everything is up to date. You also want to bring in a fresh perspective to common challenges. What's great about this is that oftentimes different associations might be behind or not as innovative as the associations that you've been a part of or the industries, right? For instance, I used to work in higher education, and I know that higher education, when it comes to technology, way behind. I mean, you'd be surprised at how many universities here in the United States don't even have proper internet usage, right? Like in support. So if you were to go in and particularly talk about tech in a particular way to higher education folks, they would be like, this is brilliant, even though it might be base level for you because you've been in the field for a while. So you can find some gaps there. And then you want to always share success stories with similar groups. So I think sometimes when we turn in conference proposals, we kind of shy away from sharing those testimonials, but that would be great for you to even include in your bio. Are there other people and other conferences, small organizations within that industry that you've already supported? You know, name drop a little bit that you can also include in your pitch and in your proposal. So just think about that for a moment. I want to show you real quick how I would search an actual association. And there are a few different industries that you can get into as a speaker and a consultant. You can think about associations, corporations, right? But under all of those are actual industries like technology, education, corporations, healthcare, right? Media and communications, sports, right? So for you, you got to think, who do you want to impact and who do you want to work with? So let's bring up one of my dear-hearted friends, Google. So if we go to Google and let's say we're thinking about drop in the chat like what's your business industry, but maybe we're looking for technology associations, right? So we got a few things coming up. We got Technology Magazine. Since I'm in Georgia, a lot of things for Georgia. Technology Association of Georgia is coming up as well. Okay. Association of Science and Technology. Okay, great. Education. Okay, I see someone said education as well. Okay, cool. So let's say we just say conferences as well. So it's giving us a few conferences. This conference is actually happening right now. CES is a big tech conference. Happens every year. And this is where they tell all the breakthroughs, all the new stuff that's going to drop for 2025. And then they have the technological councils of North America. So I hope that y'all see what I'm seeing here. Like there's plenty. So you want to go on these sites and look up the current conferences. And I would go like conferences and maybe even do 2023, right? Let's see. So this one, Association of Science Technology Centers, we've seen that before. Sometimes they don't have the actual one from the past, but this looks like they do. So let's see if we go to keynotes. All right. Yeah, look, it was in North Carolina. Shout out to anybody who lived there in 2023. So you can see here who spoke and what were their different topics, right? These don't really have like topics. They have more like their names, but yeah, I guess that does. It's like more of a dialogue talk. So I would just go through and see who's spoken and what has been the conversations that they've had in the past. Sometimes they'll even have the actual conference workshops listed as well. So they're having their conference this year. Looks like it's in September in San Francisco. I used to live in the Bay, one of the beautiful places. So you could click there and see if they're looking for a call for speakers, which they probably are. And you could submit to those associations. So I know somebody put education. So let's look up education. So we got NIA. I've heard of that before. National Education Association. That's one of them. Professional Organization, Teacher College of Columbia. Okay, there it goes. Professional Association of Georgia Educators. I'm sure any state or city you live in probably has their own association. StudentAffairs.com. National Education Organizations. Okay, cool. So one that I definitely know of, especially if you're thinking about higher education, is NASPA. They're a good one. They have an annual conference every year. I think their conference this year is maybe East Coast. I'm not sure. Yeah, here goes their national conference. I know that they've already found their speakers. Oh, New Orleans. Nice. So the early registration closed in December. So what I usually do, y'all, if something comes up and the conference is already looked for speakers, I can always throw this in my calendar, right? Close in December, to put this in my calendar for October and November so I can make sure I go back and check back. But this is how easy it is for you to find associations to start to build with, right? Coach E, Demetra here, law enforcement. I'll pull it up next time. We're gonna go through a couple of them, right? Associations is just the first one that's right in front of y'all that y'all aren't really thinking about. It's the first one that's in front of y'all that y'all aren't thinking about. And that's what this is about. 3 high impact venues ready to book y'all right now that you aren't really thinking about. And a lot of you are probably a part of it because you're professionals. You're a part of your own associations and you probably haven't even decided to try to pitch them yet. So I really want you to think about when you are going to associations to start to do things that are considered power move strategies. Do your research, find about 5 that align with you and what you want to speak or consult about that really will support your framework. And I want you to get involved. Maybe you can join a committee. I remember NASPA, I was a part of their LGBT committee. Yes, it was a part of professional development for my job at the time, but also it was an opportunity to be involved on the back end so that I could get speaking opportunities. Many of them will have publications. They have, whether they're newsletters or magazines that come out on a regular basis, maybe you can write an article for them. If you write an article for them, they know your name when they're picking people to present or to, do a keynote plenary at their organization. And then build relationships before you pitch. Build relationships before you pitch. So what I would do, let's say NASPA, right? I would go on to LinkedIn and add NASPA as an organization. And then I would see who's on the board, who works for them right now. Let me try to add some people in and build relationships with them as well before I turn in that proposal. Things are extremely competitive right now because of where our economy is. So we have to make those extra steps in order to be seen and to get amazing opportunities. So the number one opportunity for you right now that you can start to look for opportunities to submit for conferences or even to pitch yourself as a plenary speaker would be associations. Now let's move into number 2. Number 2 is really where the big budgets live. Let's talk about the money. Don't put the word money in the comments. Put the word money there because we're about to talk about some money. And that is corporate organizations. Corporate. It's going to be the place where they're going to pay you the big bucks, but they're going to work you too, y'all. Don't get twisted. You work with a corporation, they're going to give you the big bucks and they're also going to want, you to do amazing work because you represent them, right? And they're probably Fortune 500 for a reason. So we really want to think about corporations. So here's what makes them so exciting. They're investing in their people. Most corporations have a professional development budget. They have a speaker's budget. They have a trainer's budget. It is a part of the mechanism of the machine to make sure that they stay innovative, to make sure that they stay profitable, to make sure that the staff and the talent that they have, that they're able to retain them. And they want you there. They have the budget. Oftentimes it's the end of the year and they try and spend it up. I've been a part of organizations like that, right? But they do want measurable results. They're going to want measurable results. They're going to want that survey at the beginning, at the end, to make sure that it works for their organization because they're trying to protect their bottom line. They want to be able to go to their board members, to their stakeholders and say, this was beneficial because of this measure. We brought in Demetra to do self-care and self-defense classes because the women in our organization do not feel safe walking from the bus stop. And when we gave them the survey at the end of that training, they said they felt 2% safer, right? Whatever it is, they want to be able to go back to their stakeholders and give that information. They're going to value your expertise if they bring you in, and they're going to be a repeat client. So most of the times when I've been able to be on a retainer, a couple of times where I've worked with organizations for a long amount of time, or when my clients have, it has been corporations because they have a consistent budget, right? Where they're able to plan for that and project for that maybe for a year or for a couple of years, which is really cool. So we want to look into corporations. When it comes to corporations, and I'm going to show you how to find some of those on LinkedIn, right? And do me a favor, if you're watching here live, which shouts out to you if you're watching here live. If you're watching here live on YouTube, go on and like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I really would appreciate your help. But I'm going to show you how to look up associations in a moment on LinkedIn. But if there's a particular group that you want to work with, go on and drop their name, and that will be the group that I look up for you, right? So that we can talk about how to find those decision makers in those organizations. So let's think about an action plan. What will be our action plan when we want to get into these corporations? It's all about connection and speaking their language. So when you are sending this particular type of pitch, this is probably going to be a conversation on LinkedIn, or you might be sending cold emails to these associations, to these corporations. You might be sending cold emails, or you're going to be using LinkedIn. A little bit different from the associations. Associations, you could do this as well, but they already have a vehicle for you. They already have a vehicle because they're doing conferences, events, meetings. Often corporations are private. But what you can do is do your research. Look on their website and see what they have going on. But when you're submitting the pitch, here are 4 things you want to consider. Write this down. Make sure you do. 4 corporations to connect with them. Focus on bottom line impact. All the fluffy stuff, how you feel, it's great. Emotional intelligence, all this high level language is great. What's the bottom line? How is this going to help them make more money? How is this going to help them retain their talent? How is this going to help them stand out as an organization? How is it going to help them keep them alive during this rough economic time? How's it going to help them get their award? Maybe they got an award and they got it taken away. How's it going to help them move up that list, right? And be considered the most safe, the most inclusive, the most profitable. Think about the bottom line. When you're pitching them, you also have to show them that you know what metrics and success looks like. So you want to include that in the pitch. You want to include concrete success stories that are based on metrics. I went into this organization, and when I got there, 95% of the people said that they didn't feel really included in the conversations with leadership. We had this leadership retreat where I broke down my framework, was able to support people in having transformative conversations. By the time I left, 54% said that they didn't feel included. I hope that it was more, but that shows that there was a 40 to 50% change within that organization. You want to use metrics and data so that they can see why it's beneficial for them. Showcase your implementation tools. Don't just tell them what you've done, but show them how you've implemented it. If you notice what I shared with you right there, I shared my framework with them. They were able to have transformative conversations with leadership. So what are they hearing? Oh, there's a framework, maybe a workbook. I can have conversations with these people I don't want to really talk to, right? So share the tools within it and then connect to their current initiatives. You can go on their website and you can look them up and see what they're up to. Now, some events are private, but if they're having meetings or even meetings for their staff, you're going to find that stuff on the website. And you're going to be able to send a pitch that says, hey, you know what? I noticed that you all had a great event recently and you had a guest speaker that talked a little bit about health and safety. I talk about that as well, right? So you can show them that you've done your homework. So I want to share with y'all how to find these groups on LinkedIn. And then we'll get into the third one, y'all. The third one is a gem. And at the end, if y'all stay to the end, I will be giving you a pitch template. So I would love for you to stay to the end. The other thing is this, if you have questions, I want you to put them in the chat, but I also would love for folks who have questions, if you're in the academy, go on and throw them in the academy so that I can go to the academy and get the questions and you could be in priority. So put them under our questions section within our school community. And if you are in the Speaking for Profit circle, you can go in there and add in your question too in the question section. I will go there first to grab questions and then I'll come back to the chat. But if we're going on LinkedIn, and let me see, did anybody put an organization? Do me a favor, put an organization you want to work with. And I'm going to just pick one because no one has shared yet. So we'll do Pepsi. Okay, great. I'm going to share this with y'all. This is on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn as a search tool, but also as a space to make a little money. So on LinkedIn, I've searched Pepsi, and you can search any organization. I think the last time I looked at the data, 85% of Fortune 500 companies are on LinkedIn. So you should be able to find them. Now, what's great is PepsiCo has their page. So I'm going to go, let's say I want to work with them. I want to come to their national conference. I might even check out Pepsi. I'm not sure what they're up to. So I'm following them now. I'm going to go to their page on LinkedIn, which is great. And then I can kind of see what they've been up to. It says 2024 was just the beginning of a year groundbreaking hydration solutions, one of the outer world flavors, thanks to our incredible team, right? So talking about that, so the new year. They're proud of the work and creative of their frontline association who continues to raise the bar. So they're talking about their frontline workers. So if you had a talk or something to motivate, acknowledge, celebrate their frontline workers, you could bring that into your pitch for them. Talking about giving back to folks in the UK. If you're international, you could talk about that. So, they're going to post their wins on their page as well. So this is one way that you could look at it. Now, what's really great is you can go to people. And if you go to people, it will share with you people you may know that already work for PepsiCo. And you can connect with those decision makers, right? So you can literally hit up, who's this? All right, VP of Talent. Great smile. And send them a message, right? Follow them and send them a message. about potentially working with Pepsi. That's what I love about LinkedIn. We can put in any company and follow some people. And I did just randomly add that person. We'll see if they like me. Maybe I'm going to be doing some work with Pepsi, which could be really cool. What else can we find? Life, if you go under the life section, this is usually more information on the company. So you can understand what they're doing in the world, which is always great. What I love about this too, you can see the employees that are posting content about Pepsi. These are the folks you want to connect with as well, because they're already doing the work, right? They're already doing the work. They're active on LinkedIn. This person was on LinkedIn 1 week ago. So it really makes it easier to think about connecting with decision makers at corporations. What we used to do and what we still do, right, is we have a Legion app that can reach out to people from any parts of the world on LinkedIn. But I think as the world gets more competitive, we have to be a little bit more niche down. And what I want you to do is like, oh, you know what? I know I want to work with folks at Pepsi. Instead of do it organically, go through here and add the people that are talking about the things that you want to connect with. And that could be a great tool for you as well as you're looking at corporations. Now, if you want to find their emails, that's a different thing. If you want to find corporations' emails, you probably have to use a system like it's called Instantly, and they're able to send cold emails out to folks. I've been thinking about doing a cold email training because it's something that I do in my business still. I still do LinkedIn. I do both. I don't want to put my foot on one pedal and take it off the other one. But it's not what I suggest because I think LinkedIn is a little bit of a deeper connection, but I do still believe in the value of cold email. I think it could work great. And depending on the campaign you're running, it can be really successful. If y'all want me to do something on cold email, just write the word code in the chat comments. We're going to be doing these live trainings, these purpose and profit trainings every Tuesday. So you'll have an opportunity to go on and, come to that in the next few weeks. But if you want me to talk about cold email, and just put that in there, because I think that's another way to connect. But I would do my research, y'all. We can't be transactional about this. 2025 is going to take us to be a little bit more particular, a little bit more intimate with our purpose. Instead of, I'm just sending out 500 messages. I'm just sending 600 messages and hoping someone will answer and want to work with me. No, we need to be clear. I want to work with this group. Let me go see who works there. Let me see what their purpose is. Let me see what they're talking about. Be really intentional about it and build those relationships. Today, someone's online on LinkedIn and they're like, we're looking for folks in sales. And for my folks who followed me for a while, y'all know I love sales, especially particularly tech sales. I'm really excited to explore working with the organization in that capacity. But someone on LinkedIn was like, I work at Salesforce. I got some opportunities. Anyone interested? I raised my hand. We got in the DMs. I sent them my resume. We're in conversation. So there's a lot of business that moves in and out on LinkedIn, and you just have to be more intentional and human about it. You can't go on there just expecting someone to pay you because of your degrees and who you work with about 3 years ago. You have to be intentional and you have to be clear. And you have to want to build relationships with people, which is really, really important. So that's how I would look for corporations. So let me walk you through the exact steps and strategies of what you're going to do if you know for a fact you want to work with corporations. You're going to research the company's initiatives by either going on LinkedIn or look at this. When you go on LinkedIn and you go here, look right here, visit website. So that's the other great thing. Their website is normally connected to their page. So you can go on there, look at their initiatives, do your research. Easy breezy. That's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to do your research. You're going to search for the organization. Give yourself an opportunity to search for 3 to 5. Doesn't have to be a lot that you know you want to work with. You're going to connect with decision makers by going to their company page and finding people that you can resonate with. You might even already be friends with them. Your homie that you went to school with in middle school might even work for one of those organizations. You never know. So go on and see if there's people you can get connected with, and then present a solution-focused proposal. Present a solution-focused proposal. Gather your data and then present it to them. Say, you know what? I've noticed that you're doing these type of events. I will be interested in supporting with this. Shoot your shot. The only reason we're afraid to shoot our shot often is because we're afraid of rejection. And that's something I'm working on, y'all. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. But rejection often is protection or redirection into the things that we really need. But we won't know unless we shoot the shot. So you got to go for it. You got to ball out, right? Ball out, go on and reach out to folks. The worst thing that they could say is no. And we've all gotten a lot of no's in our life. That's a part of it. The worst thing they could say is no. But the most exciting thing, and sometimes even more scary, is they say yes. And then that requires us to show up as our best selves, which can be really powerful. So if you're going to reach out to a corporation, go on and put the word corporate in the comments, because I would love to hear that. But I think it could be a great opportunity for you if you're really intentional about it. Now, for my clients who are currently using our lead gen app, and you're sending out these conversations to decision makers, you're sending out messages, keep it going. But maybe you need to go into your targeted list and be a little bit more particular. Instead of sending it to anybody, maybe you narrow it down to a few organizations that particularly you can solve the problem for and your framework will be perfect for. So I'm not saying that you want to step away from what we're doing, but be a little bit more niche down, be a little bit more intimate about it. So one, we talked about associations, remember, right? This is the trifecta. So there's 3 of them. Organizations that you can find speaking gigs at right now that you probably are not thinking about. So this is really where your career can probably take off if you utilize it within the right way, right? And that is going to be conferences and summits. We talked a little bit about conferences and the summits because of associations, but associations are different, right? Conferences and summits can be put on by anyone. I'm hosting actually a live event this summer called Speaking for Profit Live. You can go to speakingforprofit.com/S4P Live to get your tickets. It's going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia. There's entrepreneurs that host events. There's speakers. There's schools. There's clubs, right? There's so many people that host events, summits. But these are great opportunities for you to get massive exposure. Most of the time, they're not going to pay you right away, but you're going to be put in front of an audience of people that are usually global from around the world. I was supposed to go to a conference in October called FinCon. It's a financial conference. And I decided to go to the Kajabi conference because I really wanted to meet some key people that I'm thinking about collaborating with. And also, I love Kajabi. But when I was looking at some of the people that were coming, they had these little networking events where they would connect you with other people. People were coming from the UK, Ghana, all around the world. So when you think about getting global exposure, conferences and summits are the perfect place for that. It's going to be a high energy environment. You're going to have people there who are really excited to be in this new place, this new city. Usually conferences and summits have a history, right? So people have came to the first one, the second one, this is my 10th one. They start to really nurture a culture in a community that can be really effective for you and your business. Industry influencers often attend. So if you are wanting to become one of the industry influencers in your particular industry or field, and you're not at the conference that everyone's going to be at, what does that look like, right? So even if you're not going to speak, you probably should be in the building for many of these conferences and events. This is the one that I love about them. It's a content creation goldmine. I went to a conference here in Atlanta called InvestFest. If you've been to InvestFest, put the word invest in the comments. Really cool event hosted by Earn Your Leisure, 2 amazing Black men from New York who've really started to educate, particularly the Black community, on financial literacy. So they host this conference called InvestFest. I leave out of InvestFest and I see my homie out here interviewing people that are leaving InvestFest. He didn't even have a ticket, y'all. He didn't even have a ticket to the event. He was just interviewing people, right? So I say that to say people know how important these events are, that they'll just stand outside and interview influencers, interview industry experts, interview people that they know are going to be there for it. So you could create your content. That's the place where you might be able to get someone you've been trying to get on your podcast, actually meet them, ask them a couple of questions. It's an amazing opportunity to create a gold mine of content. not this week, but next week, I'm going to be dropping a podcast episode where I got to talk to the CEO of Kajabi when I went to that conference about the creator economy. It's going to be amazing. And I know it's going to do good on YouTube because people want to hear from the CEO of Kajabi. Why wouldn't you? So it gives you a great opportunity. And then it's a media attention magnet. So when you think about like the local news, local radio, everyone's going to be a part of that event and all eyes is going to be on it. So it's important for you to be in it. I'm going to show you a unique way to find conferences and events in your local area in a moment. But I really want you to take advantage of this. And what we have going on right now within the Speaking for Profit Circle and within Speaking for Profit Academy is that we're doing a pitch competition. And I'll share a little bit more about it later. But the intention is for everyone to submit 20 pitches this month. That could be pitching a TED Talk, pitching a association like we talked about, pitching a corporation, going for some conferences or events. And if folks do 20 of them and submit them, then we're giving away some grand prizes. But I'm sure a lot of folks are going to pick conferences because we did this last year and it really supported a lot of our clients getting new business. Conferences and summits are beautiful places to do. So let's talk about how you want to actually send in a pitch for a conference. And we've never really talked about this in Speaking for Profit Academy. So for folks who are here for that, this is going to be key for you because I know many of you are going to be a part of the pitch competition, but also you're going to conferences all the time. Maybe you're getting some things that aren't accepted, and this can help you with your pitch. You want to think about having unexpected session titles, things that really grab the attention of the conference board committee that is putting together the curriculum. I was on an actual board last year and we picked particular topics because of the titles. Because you get tired, y'all. We get a lot of submissions. Or we got a lot of submissions. Everybody gonna read all that y'all done wrote down and spent your beautiful time on. So sometimes it's the title that draws you in. So you want to have a very unexpected, fun title. You want to promise bold, actionable takeaways. Not just takeaways about like touchy-feely how they're going to feel. We want to get back to the metrics, right? Like, what are some actionable takeaways? People are going to walk away with the top 10 ways that they can find paid contracts. People are going to walk away with an actual email template that they can send to their organization. Now, I could say that in a whole lot of different ways. I could say that people are going to walk away with a curriculum that tells them about how to build a profitable and sustainable business, but that doesn't give me the key takeaways. They want to hear it and they want it to be literal. You want to also design unique audience experiences. People are over the talking head. So if you can bring in some opportunities for them to get in their bodies, to do some movement, for people to interact with one another, that is going to really support the organization and the conference and the summit and creating a beautiful culture and experience. I would go back to those conferences and summits and see what people have presented and done before. And you want to think about making it even more unique than that. And then you want to bring something new to the conversation. You'll probably look at the list of presenters and topics and be like, why are they not talking about this? That's the topic that you want to bring in. That is the topic that you want to bring in. So let's talk about how to find conferences. Now, I've showed y'all some different ways. Conferences are great, but they can also be kind of expensive. Like, you got to pay to get there. You got to travel, usually, hotel, food. So what I'm working on this year is keeping money in my house. I suggest that for y'all as well. Keeping money in my house and saving and investing. So that means that I'm going to travel a little bit less unless I'm getting paid for it. So I'm looking at conferences and events that are local instead of looking at events that are across the world. So if we're looking for something that's local, what we can do is look at are convention centers and see what events they have coming up. So let's see, Atlanta Convention Center. Okay, so when I put in Atlanta Convention Center events, these are a few different things that are popping up right now. Nothing I'm really interested in. Okay. Okay, here goes some events. I think this will tell us like probably, no, this is more about how you can host the event. Okay, here goes the Georgia World Congress Center. They have it too. So upcoming events, you see what's coming up. Hot chocolate Atlanta, that sounds fun. Okay, what's this? SECO 2025. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Looks like this is the Education Destination Conference. So what they do. Headquartered in Atlanta is a non-for-profit association founded in 1923 and counts for members. Oh, okay. So it's primarily in this area. Okay. Optometrists, residents. So this is for like folks in the optometry school. Oh, not a very diverse board. Georgia. Okay, cool. So this event is happening February. It's probably already found their speakers, but that's good to know. Let's see what else we got. I'm going to show y'all something else that y'all can do as well. I'm just looking to see what's coming up here. They got a real estate conference coming up. It's in April, but they might have already had their speakers, but that might be something for folks who are in real estate. I think this is a business conference. Oh, no, that's the National Schools Board Association. Okay, cool. Conference for public school educators. Cool. You can still do, looks like, oh no, January 10th. Oh, that's Friday. That's early bird though. That's not for speakers. They already got their keynotes. Probably if it's in April, they probably already have. Yeah, they already got their sessions together. Okay, cool. So as y'all can see, I'm just finding all of this stuff on, this is one of the convention spaces here in Atlanta. Let's go out a little bit farther because sometimes farther events. Let's do this. This is like a robotics conference happening in May. Okay, look at this. If anybody's into robotics, looks like they got conferences, workshops. Yeah. Looks like they're looking for paper submissions that are due. Oh, this is 2024 though. Dang, they already were looking for people in 24 for this one, it looks like. Okay. Y'all fancy. Y'all ahead of the game. Okay, definitely. So this is what I would do, y'all, if I was looking for that. The other way that you can do, and I'll share this. This will be the last thing. Eventbrite is another good place to look for conferences. Let me see if it'll work. Eventbrite is giving me a little trouble. Education conferences. Okay, here it goes. Top matches. Some things are popping up. So you can check out these and see if they need speakers as well. Always some events, always summits, always conferences going on. So these are the ways I would search. One more way that I normally teach is just to do call for speakers and then your industry. So let's say it is defense, because I know that someone put that 2025. So look, Cyber Defense Con is coming up. They're looking for call for speakers. Cyber Civil Defense Summit, call for speakers. Defense Security Corporation University submissions. So yeah, I would just Google call for speakers, the industry you're interested in, and then the year. And that is another way to find some conferences as well. Cool. Really, really cool. So there's some cool stuff happening in Atlanta, which is really going to be fun. I'm excited to put my hand in and pitch and submit a proposal to some of those events as well. So we've talked about associations. We talked a little bit about corporations. Now we're talking about summits. So let's talk about how you make this successful when it comes to summits and conferences. 3 things. 1, You want to target events where you can shine. So look at the event and look at speakers they've had before. What unique perspective can you bring to the conversation? That's going to be super important. You want to submit proposals that pop, right? So that people see them and they're instantly thinking to themselves, how can they work with you? You want to share your metrics, your success in those proposals. And you can use AI to inform, but don't use AI in copy and paste. You want it to be your voice. So it can inform you, give you more information, help you create a better outline, maybe even help you come up with some more outcomes from your event. But you don't want to tap too much into AI because then you start to sound like everybody else because everybody else is relying on AI as well. Believe it or not. We're going to get into Q&A soon. So if y'all do have questions, please put them into the comments. If you're in the Speaking for Profit Academy or the Speaking for Profit Circle, you can put them in our community space under questions. And I'm going to go and answer those first and see if we have any there, right? I'm going to always do that every week. I'm going to go to Academy first because y'all are my VIP clients. I'm going to go to the Circle because y'all are amazing community that we are building. And then I'm going to go to the chat when it comes to questions. We'll do that every Tuesday. We'll be meeting here to have these amazing conversations. So remember, target events where you can shine, submit proposals that pop, and you want to follow up like a pro. So if you don't hear from them about your proposal, follow up. Hey, I submitted a proposal. I just wanted to check in and see if you got it, right? You want to make sure that you do that. So I want to leave you all with this as we kind of wrap up this part of the conversation. Really thinking about, these are things you probably already knew, but when I ask most people why they haven't done most of this, it's all about implementation. I don't have time. I don't know where to start. We've given you 3 places you can start. You can start to look up associations that are in your industries or industries that you want to get into. You can start to look at corporations, organizations that you know you want to work with, Fortune 500, and start to pitch them either on LinkedIn or using cold email. Or you can start to put yourself out there as the industry expert at a conference or summit. Either way it goes, you've got to make power moves. You've got to be the one to send that email that opens that door. That's got to be you. You've got to commit to it. You have to be the one that wants to be the relationship builder with people and not just about transactions. You've got to be willing to follow up, even if you send one message and they don't respond. So you have to go the extra mile in your business if you really want to build it. A lot of y'all think that people are getting on stages over you because they're better speakers. Or some of you are confused because you know you're a better speaker, you know you're a better consultant, but they're getting more opportunities than you. And the truth is that they are actually implementing a system and pitching and actually doing outreach. That is why they're winning. So we want to make this a normalized habit. That is why we have the pitch competition happening right now, January 7th to February 7th. And I'm going to share with you how you can get involved with it because I really want my clients, our community here Speaking for Profit, and I consider you all a community. If you're watching on YouTube, like I said, like and subscribe because I add things to our community page on YouTube all the time. And I want you to be able to see that as well. But if you're a part of this community, I want us to lead with implementation, not just a bunch of information. You could take this course on from so many different people. You can learn this from so many different people. You'll go to another public speaking coach, another business consultant, another growth strategist like I am, and they're going to tell you the same thing. But until you agree with yourself that you're going to actually implement, it's not going to really happen. So I really want us to stop making excuses and do it this month. Like if you can send off 20 pitches this month, that puts you in a really good place. If you send out 20, I doubt that 20 people are going to tell you no. I doubt it. If you do what we talked about today and you send out 20, I doubt you're going to get 20 no's, especially if they're aligned. I doubt you're going to get 20 no's, right? I doubt it. Okay, we're at what time? Okay, we moving through this time. I don't know if I was going to be able to talk to y'all for an hour, but I'm excited. I've been here. Let me see. I see something in the chat. Will you post pitch templates in S4P site? Yeah, I do currently have some pitch templates, but I'm going to share one with y'all in a moment. But this is for folks who are in the academy and in the circle. Okay. So I want y'all to remember something, right? There's a difference between a good speaker and a book speaker. It isn't just that there's their stage presence, it's their pitch presence. Let's make sure that your pitch is unforgettable, right? So remember that there's a difference between a good speaker and a book speaker. You be great, but if nobody know you and you ain't booked, it don't really matter, right? But we want to make sure that our pitch presence is just as great as our stage presence. That's what the whole point of this conversation was for us today. So before we get into Q&A, I do want to share with y'all two things. One, I want to share with you the pitch competition so that you can have a little bit of an understanding about that. And then I'm going to share with you the pitch template, and that should help you get started on this. So let me share my screen so you can see this. So the pitch competition is here. Competition overview. You're going to transform your pitching skills and with exciting prizes and a month-long pitch competition. So what I'm going to be doing within the Speaking for Profit Academy, I'm going to be posting pitch opportunities for folks to utilize, like different conferences that are happening every day. Within the circle, I'm going to do this once a week. You need to be in the academy or circle in order to be a part of this competition. I will drop the link for the circle in a moment if you want to join. It is our amazing community space. We have our signature talk mastery course there and a few other things, but we're also doing this pitch competition. The challenge requirements are that you complete 25 verified pitches during the competition period. You're going to submit them to this Google form that we've created, and you're going to submit like a screenshot, right, that it's done. We're going to just hold you accountable that way. But here are the prizes. First place prize is that you win a general admission ticket to Speaking for Profit Live 2025. We see the value there of $997. Second place prize is a $100 gift card. And we'll do winner's choice, Amazon, Visa, or MasterCard. And then the third place prize is an exclusive I Make Money with Ease t-shirt that we just came out with. So those are the prizes that you can win. So what we're doing is there's 200 people in the Speaking for Profit circle. There's probably about 20 people within the academy. Everyone is welcome to join. If you're not a part of those communities, I'm going to give you an opportunity to join those today. But you will submit the pitches. Everyone who does 20 will be put in a raffle. We're going to pull the names, and then we will say our winners. So this is really to give you the momentum and the initiative to go on and pitch yourself. So if you're interested in being a part of this, I want you to join the Speaking for Profit Circle. That's the quickest way. We do have our core program, Speaking for Profit Academy. It's in the open enrollment, but it is only by application. So if you want to be a part of a 4-month intensive and you're ready to scale your speaking business to 6 figures and above, and you already have a signature talking framework, I want to work with you. Let's get on a call and see if the academy is for you. Just put the word academy into the comments and we'll reach out to you. Or you can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want, LinkedIn, and just tell me you're interested in the academy. Totally down for that. But the circle is open to anyone who would like to join, no matter where your level is at. So I'm going to go on and drop that link into the chat so that y'all can get access to that. And then if you want, I can also put it here for folks who might be interested in joining the pitch competition. You have to be in the circle in order to be in the competition. If you're not in the circle, you will not be able to be a part of the pitch competition, but you can still hang out with us on YouTube, learn, get the knowledge, and be in this space. So I would love to support you, hold you accountable, and also give you some places you could pitch, right? Some opportunities to get the year started. So please join us in the Speaking for Profit Circle. You can go over here to school.wealthyspeaker.about. That's going to take you there. Also put the link in the chat for y'all. So let's get into the pitch template. I'm going to share with y'all where you can find this. You can find this here, whether you're in the Speaking for Profit Circle or whether you're in the Speaking for Profit Academy. Either place, you'll be able to find this amazing pitch. And I'm going to share with you where it's at. It's a pitch template. We just came up with it. It's new. It's not the same one that we have for some other community members who have been a part of it. So if you go to our calendar here within the circle or within the academy, you'll go to today's talk, which is Profit and Purpose Live. And then you're going to click here, Resource for Training. Click here. And it's going to take you over to this template that we've created for pitching, speaking, and consulting. Kind of breaks down how to use the template, the different parts that you should have. And then it gives you some notes for customizing it as well. So this is what you can use particularly for your pitches as you send them out. So I'll show you one more time for folks who might be trying to figure out where this is at. You go into the community and then you'll click on calendar. Click here on today's training. It's the 7th. You scroll down. That's the resource for the training. Even if you're in the circle, if you go over to the circle and you go over to calendar today, you're going to see the resource here for the training. If you want that template and if you want to be a part of our pitch competition, go on and join the circle. Some of you are already a part of it. So it'd be great to see you be a little bit more active and get this year started with some amazing momentum, right? Because this year is going to be really fruitful, and it's nothing better than being able to share some of that fruit with amazing community folks. So I'm really excited about the pitch competition. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm excited to hear about you all getting accepted to conferences, to closing the deals, to getting the gigs. And it's just going to be a great opportunity for you to leverage your expertise and for you to really, really, really change the world, right? Which is what we're all about. So let's get into Q&A. If you got questions, go on and put them into the chat. Totally down to answer. I'm going to look within the community and see if there's anything in there. We'll wrap up for tonight. So let me go into the community and see if there's any questions that have came through. And then I will look in the chat. Okay. I see nothing in the circle yet. Yep. I don't see any questions in either place. So let me look in the chat and let's see if there's some questions in the chat that y'all have. All right. Looking forward to the competition. I'm as well. All right, y'all. I know I gave y'all a lot of information, but what questions do y'all have? Let's get into Q&A. How can I help you? Hey, Coachy, corporate. Okay, cool. Good to know, Shannon. Good to know you're trying to get in that corporate bag. We could talk a little bit more about that. Shouts out to Shannon. Shannon's a Speaking for Profit Academy member and doing some amazing work. So looking forward to talking more about that. Next week, and feel free to put your questions in the comments. I will answer them. I will not stick around forever, though, waiting for questions. So if y'all ain't got questions, I'm going to go too. But I do want to talk about what we got going on next week and next week's training, because I think that's going to be phenomenal. So next week, we're going to talk about developing multiple revenue streams from one keynote. How to develop multiple revenue streams from one keynote. And a keynote presentation, y'all, is very similar to your signature talk. I might even change that topic to developing multiple revenue streams from your signature talk, because that's really the language that we use. But this is going to be a great conversation about thinking about, now that you have a talk, especially if you're in the Speaking for Profit circle, how can you turn that talk into multiple streams of income? So I'm really looking forward to it. That's what we're going to talk about next week. And if you haven't already liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. We usually will post a reminder for the live session on YouTube, and I would love for you to be able to get that. So go on and like, subscribe, so that you are given access and a reminder to come to our next training as well. That would be really dope. All right, y'all. Well, I don't see any questions coming in. That makes me feel like we've given you a lot here today to consider and to think about. And next week, we'll talk about the multiple streams of income. But as we're getting into the pitch competition, I really want you all to think about what we talked about today. It's important that you figure out what is going to be your pitch style. Are you going to be pitching associations, corporations, conferences and events, a mixture of both? Because if you have one pitch, right, just like if you have one talk, you can send it to multiple places. If you try to do everything, it might feel like a little overwhelming. So pick one, go for it. And then we really need to be particular. We can't just spray and go for hundreds of leads. We have to really niche down and decide who we want to work with. And we need to do it in community. I know that so many of you are going to kill it because this is a competition and you're competitive, but you're also going to kill it because you're going to see your colleagues out here doing it as well. So I look forward to it, whether you're here on YouTube as one of our community members and our subscribers, or you're in our amazing Speaking for Profit circle, or you're in our Mastermind Speaking for Profit Academy. I'm honored to work with y'all and to just have these conversations. So I will see you next week for our next Profit and Purpose Live. And I hope that this was beneficial and helpful. I hope that you have an abundant week. And until next time, peace. Mm-hmm.